Hi everyone and welcome to The Learning Ladder, and welcome if you're new. My name's Isabella and I am a homeschool mum to my daughter who is in 3rd grade. I am currently doing another planning for homeschool. So I am just about to do some binding. I'm going to bind Dining on Science, the teacher's guide, which I have here. I've got my Magic School Bus box set in the post, which is super exciting. I tried it out and it was really fun. It actually comes with a little activity guide as well, which is really cool. I showed you it in a haul, which I haven't finished filming yet, but once I do, then I'll be posting that, so you'll see that. You probably already have seen that before you've actually seen this one, because I think that video is actually going to come next. So I'm going to do some binding, then I'm going to film another video. I am going to film my language arts books that I love. I've been doing that books that I love series. I think that's going to be the last one. I think maybe I'll do an IT one, but I don't know, because I think that would be quite a short one. Maybe, I don't know. As it is right now, language arts will be the last ones that I have done. Actually no, I should really do maths, shouldn't I? Maybe I will. Maybe there will be an extra. I think there will actually. I'm going to do maths and IT. I might combine them. So yes, so there'll be one more of my favourite books after this video. Not this video, but after the language arts video. So yesterday I was working on my planner. So I've done my calendar. I have done planned out our year in terms of when we're going to school, when we're going to have our vacations and things. I have also done my year at a glance, and what else did I do? Something else I'll show you in a second. It's just written in to the planner. I originally was going to make a digital calendar that I was just going to copy and paste into the actual planner, but I just thought, oh, you know what, I'm just going to write it in. It's easier and less time consuming than actually making one, so that's what I did. So I just wrote it in and it's looking really cool, so that's good. And I really like how it came out. So it reminds me of bullet journal style, but better because it's bigger. So it's I'd say almost A4, so 8.5 by 11 size notebook, I think. So it just gives you a bit more room than your standard bog size little bullet journal. I do really like bullet journaling there for personal use, but I haven't actually tried. I tentatively tried it for homeschool, but never really delved into it because I ended up making my own planner. But I would like to try bullet journaling at some point for homeschool. But for right now, the notebook that I'm using this year feels like a really good fit because of how I think I want to lay all my subjects out and everything. Anyway, I'm going to get back to binding Dining on Science. So if you have purchased Dining on Science and you're wondering how I'm doing mine, I have decided to do it by season. So I've got all of season 1, 2, 3 and 4 together, and I am going to bind them. This bit's already been bound, but bind them together into a little teacher's guide. And then what I'm going to do is highlight each of the options. So I'm going to highlight which books we're going to use, highlight what YouTube videos I want to watch, highlight what activities that we're going to do in the buffet, because there are a mixture. There's art, science, language arts, experiment and additional experiments, baking, you know, it varies. So I'm going to highlight which ones I think my daughter will enjoy. And then what I might do actually with the rest of them, because there's no way we'll be able to do all of the buffet this year because there's far too many to do in one year. So what I might actually do is save some of the funner ones, so some of the experiments in the buffet for the holidays and things. And so that's how I might end up utilising those, because they are really, really fun. The ones that I picked some really good experiments and little activities that we will definitely enjoy. Anyway, enough talking. I need to bind. So in case you're wondering, this is the binding machine that I use. I've had it now, I think 3 years, 2 to 3 years, I'm not sure. 2, I think, I'm not sure. Either way, I have done a video on it, and I will link it below in case you want to see how it works, a little demo of it. But it's pretty good. I think if I was to purchase one again, I might get one that offers multiple ways to actually bind, although I'm sure they would be too expensive. So if you're on a budget, then this is a great one. And just like that, there it is. So I just, as I said, just found the lesson plans and I'm just going to highlight them. So when it actually comes down to science in my planner, I am actually probably not going to write hardly anything unless it's resources, you know, as in supplies that I need to get, because it's all written in here. So, you know, for example, astronaut application, I'm just going to highlight it. So that's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is do each of the lesson plan for 2 weeks, unless we're really into it, and I think we should do some more of the buffet activities. But if she's really into a specific topic, then we might do more of the buffet activities and stretch it for more than 2 weeks. But that the plan is, at the moment, is to do it over 2 weeks. So I'll just highlight what we're going to do in the first week, highlight what we're going to do in the second week, and I'll do it in a different colour so I know which is the first week, which is the second week. So that's what I'm doing with my lesson plans for Dining on Science. Next, I think I'm going to do the same for Journey Through Time. So I'm going to bind my teacher guide, and also I'm then going to think about packing up, which is, I'm not actually going to do it yet, but I'm going to think maybe I'm going to start a little bit. So for example, we have finished all of our language arts curriculums and things, and they're all in a binder. So I'll start taking those things out and put those away into our storage box. So how I do it is I have a plastic storage box from IKEA. Those are the ones I usually use, the £6 ones, so not as in weight but as in money. So I think they're so big. I think they're about this tall. And what I do is I just put all our papers in there. I do actually currently, and I have done from the beginning, keep everything. I might eventually obviously get to the point where I can't do that, and I'll just end up having to, you know, select favourites and things like that. But right now I'm able to keep everything, and I do that just for our records, so I've got proof of everything we've done. And obviously for memories, so she can look back on it. And I would love to have done that, you know, gone back and when I was an adult and look back on all the things that I learned and see how my handwriting changed and over the years and things that I've written. But obviously when you're in a school building, they keep all the work, you only get occasional things to take home. So I'm very happy that we get to do that. So I get to keep all of her work, and she can peruse it whenever she likes. When she's older and things, and go back and see what things that she did when she was younger, so that's fun. So yes, if you've got 10 kids that might be a bit challenging, but for me currently it's okay. I can do that. I can keep everything in the storage box. But it's things like, so for example this is our language arts binder with all our different work in here. So the green things sticking up are different lap books that we did. We've got, you know, different pieces of work in here from different curriculums that we did. So yeah, there's quite a lot in here, but I will just take them everything out. She can go through them because she always likes to do that, you know, at the end of the year, go through everything, what she's done, and see how she progressed, and, you know, remember things and say, oh, I like doing that, and making memories. And then I'll put them into our plastic storage bin, and then I'll move on to the next subject. So I think I'll start I'll start filing things that we've finished, and start clearing out the work boxes next after I've bound Journey Through Time. Okay, so I went to go and bind Dining on Science, and I'd already done, not Dining on Science, I went to bind Journey Through Time, and I'd already done it. So yay, past me, who took care of present me, because I completely forgot I'd already done it. So that's good, so I didn't see that. So now I'm just going through Creepy Crawlies, which is the gather round unit we're currently doing, to see what's planned for tomorrow. So this lesson 13, Bugs in the Dark, that's what we're up to. So there are 20 in this particular unit. So once we finish those, we'll only have maths and our spelling and just regular reading until the end of the year. So yeah, we're nearly there. We're almost done. Wow. Okay, it's another day. We are actually doing rug doctor cleaning right now. So if you hear a really loud noise, that's the rug doctor cleaning all the carpets and nesting. Because it's this time of year where I like to make sure everything's nice and clean before the summer. And also because Quinn is pregnant, which we are super excited about. Also scared too. But we're keeping the puppies, so it's not for breeding purposes or anything like that. We've managed for every season, she's 2, for every season to manage to keep them separate, but it didn't happen this time. It was quite a shock, but we're super excited, and we are keeping the puppies, so that's reassuring. In a first litter for a Cavalier, they usually only have 2 to 3, and I think she's more on the smaller side, so hopefully 2. But we're really excited. I felt them and saw them kick for the first time yesterday, which was just so precious. I've not seen baby kicks for so long, so it was so nice to see, you know, little baby kicks. Well, puppy kicks, but you know what I mean. It looks the same whether they're a dog or a human. So I've been busy getting stuff for the birth. I bought a puppy birthing whelping box kit with all the stuff we need, the clamp for the cord, and you know, all the bits and bobs. I've been doing a ton of research about different things, whether you should let the dog chew the cord or whether you should do it and interfere. And it's really interesting actually, because it goes on a whole different tangent of how much humans do interfere in birth and natural processes, compared to, you know, nature. For example, the dog would do all that kind of thing itself, and now we're told that we need to do it for these reasons. And you know, some of them scientific probably are quite true, but I think I'm going to try and do it as natural as possible and only really interfere if there's a problem. Let her do what nature intends, because she's already doing a lot of what nature intends, like she's looking for a place to nest. And bearing in mind she's a first time and only time mum, you know, she's never experienced this before, yet she seems to know already what to do, which is, it's just fascinating. We're really making it educational. My daughter's super excited. So yeah, we're having puppies. So they're due in, a dog's cycle for pregnancy is between 58 and 65 days. So they're due approximately, the 65th day would be the 15th. So we're getting close now, the due date. I don't know whether she's going to go on the early side or the later side. She still looks quite small in terms of tummy. There's not like a giant tummy or anything. She has put on a bit of weight, not massive though, which was really good, because they say not to, because it can be really bad for their health. So she's put on, you know, what I would consider a normal amount, but her tummy isn't huge, so I'm not sure whether she's gonna go a little bit longer than that. But yes, we're having puppies and can't wait. So exciting. I've been watching so many videos on birth and delivery and complications, so I know what I'm doing. And we've also got her whelping box. My husband wasn't sure whether he wanted to make one or not, and whether it'd be cost effective, so I ended up just buying one. So it's a whelping box, come a little pen that it can change into a pen, or you know, up until the time they're 8 weeks, and then we'll just let them out like we normally would do, you know, to roam and things. We usually don't crate, we never have, so I just want to do what we always do, but we usually don't get new puppies until they're, you know, 8 weeks. So you know, it's quite early obviously having them from birth, so we will use the pen initially, but only for safety purposes, because you know, they're going to be so small. But then as soon as they're 8 weeks, then they'll be free to roam like normal. We've never had issues with you know, them really destructive chewing or anything like that. And the Cavaliers, they're not Labradors or Alsatians. The Cavaliers are usually quite chill and calm, and Quinn was more of a chewer than Jace was, but even she, you know, she wouldn't go and chew furniture. She'd just look for bones and little toys that she could get hold of. So definitely puppy proofing once they get to that stage where they're roaming around. But yeah, it's really exciting. So that's a little update in terms of homeschool stuff. I've been doing more in my planner. I've done our schedule, which, let me know, do you want me to share our schedule or not? Let me know, and I will share that in a separate video. I have shared them every year, but you know, it gets to the point where is it actually really useful? I don't know. Let me know, do you want to see our schedule or not? Because obviously everyone is doing different curriculum, and we're very much in the Charlotte Mason method in terms of lessons are not too long, because I think that really helps. So you know, if you think how can you get through 4 or 5 subjects in a day, it's because we don't spend
2 hours on one subject. Charlotte Mason's methods are very specific, that, you know, it's short bursts of quality time, and that's all what I've always done, and that's always worked. You're actually sitting on a pile of stuff, because so if you're slanted, that's why, because all the carpets were being cleaned, so I had to move stuff off. So now I am just trying to get everything ready, in terms of get everything done that I needed to get done before the end of the school year, in terms of planning and everything. So I picked you up and I was deciding on the order of Dining Through Science. That's all done, so that's all planned out. I know what we're doing. I've almost finished printing all of Dine off on Science's bits and pieces off. I'm going to make my daughter a cover, though, because it's Magic School Bus themed. I am going to make her a Magic School Bus cover. I didn't with the actual product that I saw, because I can't, because it's all copyrighted. But if you're making it for personal use, then it's okay. So I'm going to make her a Magic School Bus cover for her little notebook for Magic School Bus Dining on Science. And we're just, as I said, finishing up the year, so I'm just going through everything and seeing what I need to do. Now, for the work boxes this week, it's pretty simple, because we're doing the Creepy Crawlies unit from Gather Round, which is already all laid out. It's maths that we're finishing, and spelling. Again, they're all laid out, so I don't really have any planning for the next 3 weeks. It's just a case of finishing up little bits and bobs. I've already got our last day of school plan, which is really exciting. We're doing a Hawaii theme with Stitch and Lilo, and we're going to do school on beach towels with a little, you know, fruity little drink, some ice cream. We're going to have some little beach ball games and things. I've got her beach ball and that kind of thing, just, you know, for fun. She's also getting a few little bits of few little bit presents, which we always do. So she's getting her animation camera, which I showed you in our homeschool haul, and then I got her some animator little figurines from the Disney store. They had a huge sale on. They were reduced from, I think it's £17.99 to £4. So I got her the Sleeping Beauty and the what was the other one? Winnie the Pooh. And then I also got her this little Cinderella one, so she can have lots of fun over the summer doing some animation. You don't have to have those figurines, you can use anything, but they were so cheap, and I was buying other stuff at the time, and I wanted to get my order up to the free delivery, so I knew that we would use them. So that's an addition to her little animation camera, which I know she's going to love. And she's also got a Stitch cup, which she can have a little fruity drink in for Hawaii, and beach ball. She's got a beach ball. Was there anything else? I'm trying to think. Oh yes, a dinosaur sand kit. So she got those for her little last day of school presents. I need to buy some back to school supplies, but they are not actually out yet in stores. So I don't need a ton of stuff, because we bought markers not that long ago. I need pencils. Best pencil ever are the Ticonderoga pencils. We've used tons of other pencils, but they are the ones we always go back to. They always last so much longer. The erasers always last so much longer. So I definitely love those. So I want to get a box of those. We ran out of our Ticonderoga pencils this year. I bought a box of them, I think it was 2 years ago, and they've lasted so long, but they have run out now. So I need to get a box of those. Probably some binders, because binders always break. I think it's because the way we make them here, they're only the 2 ring, as opposed to you in the US that have 3 rings. So I think it's just the pressure on them. They always break, so I always need to replace a few binders every year. I'll need to get some paper, some exercise books, so, you know, composition notebooks, we need those. Glue, we always need glue, because we always run out of glue. We use that glue a ton. So just things like that, and then obviously I'll see, you know, what they have out in terms of anything extra that I think we need. So those are the main things I need to get, and I've already filmed a haul for some bits and pieces for back to school, but it was more, sorry, I've just got a flash news on my phone, which I'll tell you about in a second, which is really exciting. What was I even saying now? That really distracted me. So yes, I'll be looking at what, you know, bits and pieces we need. We don't need too much. So I might do a haul, but I might not. It just depends on how much stuff there is. But I did film a haul the other day, as I said. So I got some math stuff, math equipment, math games and stuff. So I'll be posting that either before or after this video. I don't know. And I also got, as I said, a couple of back to school bits in that haul. So I'll probably show them in that haul. But then if I do end up doing a back to school haul, I'll put it all together in a separate video too for that. So now I am going to do some work on workboxes for next week. So I just need to put our maths in there. We've not got many lessons left now. Yay, I'm so excited that we finished. But it's also kind of bittersweet as well because this is our last K3 Saxon. The new one's completely different, but it's going to be fine. I'm not worrying about it. We're just going to try it, and if we don't like it, then there's tons of other options for us to do that are all great choices. Have you seen the new Good and the Beautiful's K maths? It looks so good. I'm super excited to see the 4th one. They had a little placement test that you could do, so we did the placement test. And I'm really excited for all those to come out, and the PDFs are free. I mean, that is just mind-blowing to me. It's so fantastic that they are offering that as a company. They already have their language arts, which is free. We have used their language arts and we love it. The only reason I'm not using it this year is because I'm using Beowulf Grammar, which again I love. I'm super excited to use that, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere else because I think that's going to be perfect for us this year. I cannot wait. And that's the next thing I'm going to start doing once I have finished putting some things away, because I need to start putting things away, is going through our language arts and picking what assignments we want to do, because basically the way she lays it out, it's very, very, well, not all of it, but some of it is very user generated, and you can pick and choose the things. So I'm going to go through and have a look at the writing assignments that she's picked. The book that she's given has got tons more than what she's specified in the curriculum to do, so I've got tons of choices. So I'm going to go through and have a look and see if there's anything that I want to deviate from her plan on or add in. So that's what I'm going to do after I have put some stuff away. Well, that's next on my list, is to start, once I've done the workboxes, is to start filing away some of our old work from this year. Then it really feels like the end of the school year, to be honest, once I actually do that. And it is so hot in my house. It's boiling so hot. But in, I think it's 2 or 4 years' time, the new building regulations come in where they have to consider climate change and making houses better for the actual reality of the environment currently, which will be really, really good. Currently at the moment, they're all about heat, keeping it in, so insulating everything, making houses great for the winter, but they're not thinking about the summer. And actually our winters are so much milder than they ever were. We hardly ever get snow, ever. So we don't need it to be super hot in the winter, insulated. We need it to be cooler for the summer, because that's how things have changed. So I'm really happy that they are changing the building regulations to reflect that. However, it doesn't really help us in this house, which is 85 degrees all day, every day, all night. The night is the worst. Horrible. You literally wear vest tops during the day because it's so hot. Even that is too hot. But I'm not going to walk around in my bikini in my house. I draw the line at that. You have to answer the door. No. But it is absolutely boiling. Ugh, it's horrible. So yes, I mean, that's good for future people buying houses, that they don't have to have that problem. They've thought about ventilation, maybe even aircon, I don't know, but I hope they start thinking about everyone else who doesn't live in a new build, or whose new build was built for Arctic temperatures in a desert environment. So I'm working on books today, so I've just cleared a shelf and I'm going to start putting some of our language arts books on there. We're doing Beowulf language arts this year, and there were a lot of additional books, so I thought rather than putting it on a main shelf, which is what I'd normally do, I'm actually going to start putting it on here. So I'm going to see what it looks like, or I might actually not be able to do that and put it on the other one if there aren't as many as I think they are. But looking at my bag and box that they're in, there seems to be a lot, so we'll soon find out whether or not there is enough to fill the shelf. If not, I can share with something else. Organised into, so these are all the books that are her reading that go along with the grammar aspect of Beowulf Language Arts. These are the ones that fill in, so or draw or write in. And then I have got miscellaneous handwriting and different books there. These are the games that go with Beowulf Language Arts. These are things that I've added to go with. These are some of her readers. Well, you know, not readers. She can read, but you know what I mean. These are some of her assigned reading books for next year. And then these are grammar and language arts reference books, as are those. So that's my little pile, so I'm going to try and keep to that as much on the shelf as I can. Okay, so that's what it's looking like so far. This, it will not be staying there. I'll put that on the other shelf because it's sticky, it's sticking out too much. And some of these things will come off and go into work boxes. So for example, there is some cursive handwriting book over here, and this will go into our morning basket, but I just want them here for now so they're out of the tote and, you know, in a place where I can get them and easily reach them and everything else, ready to put them in their final destination. But most of them will stay on here, apart from obviously if we're using it. So I've got some of her reading books this year over here. These are all workbooks in terms of cursive handwriting. This is a calligraphy one. Then she's got the sci-fi and fantasy story book here. She's got her Design Your Own Magazine book here. That's a big project we're doing for our science. She has got these Mrs. Wordsmith. The dictionary will probably end up going onto our main shelf because there are a couple of dictionaries that were too young on there currently that I'll be moving out, and that can go there. This will be going into our morning basket, so that won't stay there. So there will be a little bit of space on here, but what I'll do is I'll put some of our read alouds onto here once these other things have come off. I'll put our games here from Beowulf Language Arts. I'll probably put those onto our little red shelf at the time when I'm doing our work boxes for when we need them. So on the day that we're doing the story maker, I'll probably put that on the red shelf, but it'll stay there up until then. Then we've got all the grammar books. This is for the writing section of language arts for Beowulf grammar, and the other little workbooks that she does with Beowulf Language Arts. So that's what it's looking like so far, so I'm reasonably happy with that. I did have to move it up a shelf. I can't remember if I told you or not, because one of the books was really long so I had to move it up a shelf, but that's fine. We just have to move another shelf to get there. And I stood in the cat's water bowl, so there you go. Real life for you. I had a little shower, didn't I? Shadow in your water bowl, but it's really hot, so it was actually quite refreshing. I put in some of our history books out, and then some geography and science. They're not going to stay this way around, they'll go on the main shelf. I just need to make some space for them, but I've just wanted to get them onto this shelf out of the box that they were in. So that's 2 I've done, which makes me happy. So I managed to clear out a whole tote, which is fantastic. And Shadow's got in the box. She gets into everything what you're doing. When you're taking books off the shelf, she jumps onto the shelf. She has to be involved in all the processes. It's funny. Okay, so I'm just about to put in her second language arts folder into the storage. So this one is all the learning language arts through literature student pages. The other one was a mixture of different things that we've done, some writing assignments, lab books, worksheets and various different things, but this is the actual learning language arts through curriculum. Learning language arts through literature curriculum activity book pages that are going in next. I've also put our history in there, so it's really starting to feel real now. About to put her math stuff away, her math binder away. She's still got 15 lessons left to do of her curriculum, but I'm just going to put what we've got here in and then just add those extra ones we finished, because I want to stop getting everything put away, and then I'm going to do science and put all of our science stuff away. It's exciting to put it all away. It's also kind of bittersweet, but it's exciting because, you know, we get to the end of the year and we're going to start a new year, 4th grade in September, and we've got the summer to look forward to and the puppies, so it's good. It's all good. It does feel a bit bittersweet though, as the parent, as a mum, thinking she's getting older, but you know, that's nature, that's normal, that's what's going to happen, and I'm very proud of her, and that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on the fact that she's done so well this year, and we've had a great year, and we're looking forward to 4th grade, and not thinking too much about the fact that she's growing up so fast. Science is about to go in the bag now too, well, in the storage box.
Clean the lens. That's much better. Okay, so now science is about to go in. Now science is about to go into the storage box. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I did my last update. No, I am not sat by chocolates, I wish. It's just an empty tin. My daughter likes to keep them and put little bits and pieces in. So yes, it has been a few days since my last update. I have just been really busy doing lots of cleaning. As I said, we did the rug doctor, just been tying things, putting things into storage, and you know, just getting ready really for the end of the school year, planning everything for the last day of school. I need to print off our last day of school poster, you know, the little thing that you hold up when you take pictures with. We always do that every year. It's really fun. Oh, everything is falling down in my house that's sticky on the walls because it's so hot. This happens every summer and it's really annoying. So yes, anything that's got kind of like Velcro on or any kind of like adhesive, because it's so hot, it's just melting and falling down. Anyway, I'm holding this book because it's just recently come out and it's really fun. I love it. So if you've seen the DK Life Cycles book and you liked it, then you'll definitely like this one. So in it, it's got various different systems. So it's not just animals, whereas the life cycle one is pretty much animals. This one has got water on Earth. So you've got things like the power of water. Then you've got different types of hang on, sorry, the book is just wind. Oh, things are falling down, it's too hot. Systems, so things like cyclones, snowflakes, rivers, waterfalls, so different systems within water on Earth. Then we've got using water, so we've got water cycles to do with food from water, surviving dehydration, so there's a cycle about that which is really interesting and relevant right now with the heat. I saw on the news apparently in parts of India that people can no longer sweat because it's so hot and humid, so it's just horrible. Life on water, so then you've got all your different types of animals. Water and humans, so there's wastewater, water in a skyscraper, so it's really, really interesting. So let's just have a quick look. There's the starfish one, because you know we're all about the animals over here, but it does have some really great other systems as well, particularly if you're doing some kind of earth science this year. So what's that one even? Water in plants, let's find the volcanic island one. Can you see? There you go. It's just really, really good. So that's that. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this video here. It's been more of a chatty one this time, but that's okay. I did have a problem with comments because they kept turning off, but I've figured it out. It's to do with books, which is really bizarre. Whenever I talk about books, my comments turn off and then I have to go through this process of turning them back on. Then they go off again, then I turn them on again. Then they go off again, and I turn them on again, and then they stay on. So it's a cycle of like 3 or 4 times of eventually saying, no, I want my comments, please. They come back. Really weird, but it's to do with books because I've tried lots of different things to figure out what the problem is, and it's every single time it's a book video. So I don't know why. What's wrong with books suddenly? Why are people against books? Or the YouTube systems against books? I don't understand. But anyway, hopefully they'll figure it out. They seem to have put comments back on for family channels. So if comments are back on for family channels, why are comments being turned off on videos that are about books? I don't know. Anyway, fingers crossed that'll stop eventually. I've never had this problem before. I used to be able to do book hauls with no issue with my comments, so it's a definitely new thing. And I'm not even monetized, so I don't know why they care, to be honest. It's very strange. But anyway, hopefully it'll stop eventually and it's some kind of glitch. The bots over there are being really silly and they're going to be re-educated to not do this. I don't know. I'm just talking rubbish. But hopefully it'll stop because it's super annoying that I have to keep turning them back on again. Anyway, let's hope this one doesn't. I'm not going to put book anywhere in the title, so we'll see. Or in the hashtags, so we'll see if or not this one gets the comments turned off. But I can turn them back on again, so I don't think it's some kind of, oh, you're doing something wrong. I think it's some kind of glitch on the system that it's picking up certain videos and saying, hold there. But I don't know. We'll see. So I'll see you in our next video. Take care and bye for now. Puppy pack has arrived for delivery. Shall I show you what's in? I'll show you what's inside, but I'll tell you what's inside.
So it's got 5 disposable towels. I just don't want to open everything, that's why I'm showing it this way. 5 disposable towels, 2 whelping liners, 1 stethoscope, a care pack which has got sterile gloves and an apron in, 10 even temporary ID bands, digital thermometer, sterile scissors, 2 ml syringe, 5 ml syringe, sterile forceps, cord clamps, the aspirator, 3 hygiene wipes, sterile lubricant, first aid wipes, antibacterial wipes, lacto, puppy milk, a feeding bottle, that was quite, a feeding bottle, teats and brush set, thermometer guide, mucus guide, cord guide, stethoscope guide, hand sanitizer, and iodine. Okay, so I am currently uploading my video clips to my computer to edit for your next video on YouTube, and it's just done it, yay. When I got my new computer, because my other one I completely broke, I used to, when I uploaded anything, whether it was pictures or videos, have a little picture of what it was, an icon. I cannot get this computer to do it. I've set the settings so it's supposed to show the icon. It shows it when it's initially uploaded, like I can see all my icons there, hello icons, but as soon as I exit out and go back in again of the window, it's just little blue generic symbol. It's so annoying. I really wish I could change that. Anyway, while I was uploading those, I was watching the Gather Round convention, and it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. I like Rebecca Spooner anyway. I like to listen to her when she's talking about home education in general, but I'm really enjoying the talk. So far I've watched the Where to Start with Gather Round. I've also watched the Education Philosophy, and they were both really good, and it's free as well. The convention is free, and if you sign up for it, they send you the replay links. Sorry, I'm eating a nice lolly. It's 95,000 degrees in my house. They send you the links to the replay because I haven't been able to watch them live yet. Although there is a competition, apparently, if you watch it live. So I'm hoping at some point to catch one of their lives if I can. But anyway, it's really interesting to see the philosophy around it. Oh, and I also watched Meet the Spooners as well, where you get to see all their family and everything. It's really fun. And her kids have grown up so much, because I think since she started doing her company, she hardly ever posts on YouTube anymore, whereas she used to before. So occasionally you see her kids in videos, and they've changed so much. But anyway, that's beside the point. It's really interesting understanding where she's coming from, why she made it in the first place, or why she set up the business to make that curriculum in the first place, what she wants to achieve from it, and it's really, really interesting. I've just been really enjoying it. So that's what I'm doing. But now I'm going to edit my video now that they finally uploaded. But the only problem is now I have to go through and find out which one is which, because I've got a ton of video clips I need to edit, because I've got another, well, I've got this video which is a ton of little clips, and then the whole which I'm about to edit is a mixture of little clips that was taken over a week or so. So now I have to figure out which one is which before I can start editing them, or because my computer will not show me the pictures of the actual videos anymore. I don't know why. It always says status error. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's what the little icon says. So if you've got any ideas, or they've ever happened before to you, let me know. When I switched to my new computer, I went from Windows 8, was it 8? I don't know, to Windows 10, and it's Windows 10 that does this. Windows 8 didn't. It's so annoying. If there's one thing I could change, it would be that about Windows 10. It'd stop doing this silly thing what it does. Anyway, back to editing. Okay, so our USA box has come. So we got a snack surprise because it was a US themed one, and I thought it'd be really fun to see what they got in here. So comes the little leaflet, facts about the US, and it tells you what's in your box, if you've got the mini box or the original box, or the premium box. And then it's got a word search on. So let me know if any of these snacks are things that you normally have, because sometimes these boxes you think, do people really eat those while they're there? I want to see if I recognise anything from we've been on holiday there. So Ruffles, cheddar and sour cream. Pretty sure I've seen those. Definitely seen these. Cheetos, flaming hot. Oh my goodness. Cheez-Its. Yep, I've definitely seen those in America. White cheddar. Ooh, they look yummy. Combos, stuffed snacks, pizzeria, baked pretzels. My daughter's gonna love those. Fudge brownie M&Ms, yum. Pop-Tarts, mini bites, frosted confetti. Oh wow, I think this is actually really accurate. oatmeal cream pie, double decker, Little Debbie. I've definitely seen those. Jolly Rancher gummies. They look fun. And Nutter Butter. Definitely seen those before. Musketeers. A Tootsie Roll or Tootsie Roll. And root beer. Wow, I think that's actually really accurate. Let me know what you think. Is it accurate? Do you think those are the types of things you would eat if you're in the US? Okay, bookshelf update. It's looking great. I'm really happy with it. I do have space for some more things, so that's fine because I haven't finished getting all the books out. But some of those, the books on here, will need to go over to the main shelf, and some of the books that are still in the bin will need to come onto this shelf. But this is what it's looking like, and I feel really happy about that. So, job well done, tick, on my little to-do list. My next big task is work boxes, so taking everything out. But I'm not going to do that in this video. It'll be the next one because otherwise this video is going to be so long. But I do want to talk to you about something first before we end. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about classroom, like motivation, positivity, sort of encouragement schemes and strategies that you can use. So for the past 2 years, I have used well, let's start from the beginning. So from the beginning, we always used a chart of some sort. So give the dog a bone, stick an ice cream on, stick a cupcake on for various levels of excellent work or trying hard when something's challenging, those types of things. And then the past 2 years, we did a school shop. So basically, I had one of those shoe holders that you can put onto the door, and we went to the pound store, which is gone now, which is really sad. But anyway, I went to the pound store, we filled it with all little trinkets and things, erasers, little toys and things, and then also experiences. So go swimming, go to the cinema, get donuts, have a Happy Meal, you know, all little different things. Go to the park, you know, go to the beach, all different things. And then she would earn class coupons, again, for exceptional work, trying hard when something's challenging, you know, doing your best, being helpful in school, you know, different things. And she'd earn coupons that she could then save up, which was really important to me because I wanted to instill the fact that saving is really beneficial. And she'd have to save her coupons up to get whatever item. I put books in there too. So say to go swimming she'd need 20 coupons, then she'd have to get 20 coupons in order to go, you know, use that experience ticket. And it's been really great. I've really loved it. However, I want to try something different this year. I feel like after doing this school shop for 2 years, I feel like I would just want to try something different. And you know, it can get expensive as well. It does have its advantages, particularly when you can get really good quality stuff. You know, not trash from the dollar store, pound store. But they've gone now, and there are other places that you can get stuff from. But I just wanted to do something different this year. And you know, to keep it fresh and interesting, and I found this really fun idea, and it's called Desk Pets, and I know my daughter is going to absolutely love it. So basically, I saw a teacher use it in their classroom, and it's ingenious. Okay, so basically you get squishies, or you could even use those erasers that are in the shape of animals, and then you have them all set out, and then your child, through good behaviour or trying their best, so you know, whatever system method you want to use in your schoolroom, in your homeschool room, gets to choose the pet. And then you can have accessories with it, so you can have little bits of eraser food and stuff, and then they can get 3 accessories over several weeks to give to them, their little pet. And you can get these little plastic storage boxes, which can be their habitat, so they can, depending on what kind of pet they pick, so if it's an alligator, they might make a little alligator habitat, so a swamp, or you know, whatever. If it's a cat, they might want to make it a little home, and you can give them felt and everything. They can get really creative to make their little habitat in this little plastic box. And then at the end of the 4-week cycle, they can then get an extra pet. And I think it's fantastic. I love it. So basically, 1 week they get the pet, and then this is just how I will do it. I don't think this is how she specifically does it. But 1 week you get your pet, and then for the next 3 weeks you'll get to choose a new accessory for said pet, and then the 4-week cycle you'll then get to choose another pet, and the whole process will start again. You get to make its own habitat and everything else. I love that idea. My daughter loves animals, so I think it'd be perfect.
I'm going to run it past her though first to see if she's excited about it, as I think she will be, because I don't want to pick something that's not actually going to be motivation, that's not going to provide motivation for her, or you know, be a good enough reward for exceptional work. So I am going to run it past her first. But it just sounds such a fun idea, and I definitely would encourage you, if you are doing some kind of motivational system in your classroom, to run it past your child or children first to see if it is something that actually interests them. But make sure you're asking at the right time, you know, not when they're disinterested watching something or reading and playing with their toys and you're bothering them. Make sure, you know, they want to communicate with you while you're discussing this, because otherwise you might get a negative answer when in fact they actually would be interested in it. So pick your time to talk about it, but not when they're in the middle of watching a film or something. But I do think it'd be really fun. Now, this particular product, she has actually made a Teachers Pay Teachers pack for it, and she's really gone into it, where she's even made writing prompts that they can use with their pet, desk pet, which I think is fantastic. So I'm going to link it below in the description box for the actual. It was only $4.50, and it's a growing thing. I think she adds bits and pieces to it, or if you want something added to it, you can email her and request it. But I think that's just so fun. I'm just really excited. So I'm going to run it past her first, but you can get the squishies off Amazon in like a bulk pack, or if you've got dollar store still, or if you've got pound store, because I know there are certain places that they still have them, then, you know, you might be able to get them from there. So yes, that's what we're going to do for our classroom motivation thing this year. I think it's going to be really fun. But if for whatever reason it goes down like a lead balloon when I mention it, then I'll think of something else. But I just don't want to do the school store this year. I'm just not feeling it at all, and you know, I just want to try something different. If she doesn't want to do that, I think we'll just go for something similar to what we did this year with the charts. So she'll get, instead of cupcake or ice cream little thing that she can velcro on, I'll think of something else that will interest her, and then at the end she could pick a reward or an experience when she's filled up her chart. I might do that, but I'm hoping that the squishies are going to go down well, because I think that would be way more fun, and I would really like that too. I think making their own little habitat is just such a fun thing out of this little plastic storage box. So yes, that's what we're going to do for motivation. So further to what I was talking about, I think it was either yesterday or a couple of days ago, about face masks and social distancing and things. We had our press conference with the Prime Minister, and he has set out that he hopes on the 19th of July that all those things will be dropped. So no mandatory requirement to wear face masks, it's personal choice. No social distancing rules at all, which is amazing. All companies will be able to open up, all businesses will be able to open up, no capacity limits. So I'm really, really happy. But if you look on social media or any news channel or anything, they're all absolutely outraged and horrified, and the opposite political party is horrified, and it's just insane, because what is the point of vaccinating everybody, or as many people as they have, if they weren't going to open up? It's gone from flatten the curve to no COVID apparently suddenly, and I just missed that memo somehow, but apparently that's where we are. So despite the fact that they've vaccinated millions, so they've vaccinated all the vulnerable, and they've also vaccinated anyone who is over 18 now can have a vaccine. So, but yeah, that's still not good enough. It's just crazy. And there seems to be a big issue around masks, and they're putting these statements out there about courtesy. People in Asia wear them all the time, why can't we? That, you know, that there's some kind of, I find it really difficult with masks. I think potentially there's maybe a small benefit, but even then it's really stretched for me, because of the fact that it's a little cloth cotton mask on your face. Most people wear it over the mouth and not the nose anyway. It's not a medical mask, it's not an N95 mask, it doesn't have any filter or anything like that on it. So I find it really hard to believe that these masks that everyone apparently doesn't want to let go of are really doing something. What really did something was the vaccines. You know, it's just, I just keep thinking back to when I was in university and we had a lecturer come in who was an infection control nurse, and
they gave this lecture and they were amazing. Some people are just born to teach, and she was just amazing. You were riveted listening to her. And there was something that she said, and it's just stuck with me the whole time. This whole time, I followed the rules and I've done all, everything I was supposed to before you pounce on me. But she specifically said in the lecture that when you see doctors and surgeons wearing these, paper throwaway masks, that they're useless, because within a few minutes or a certain amount of time they get wet from respiration and everything else, and they're virtually useless. And that's something that's sort of stuck with me through this whole time. I've worn my mask like I've been supposed to, but I just keep thinking back to that infection control nurse telling me that they were useless. Medical masks and N95 masks are not useless at all, but just the little cotton masks, do they really make a difference? I'm very, very skeptical on this. It actually really does make all that much of a difference, if at all. There's so many gaps around mine. It does not fit my face perfectly. I've never found a mask that does. I'm quite small, so I've never found a mask that does. Kids ones are too small for me, but adult ones are too big. It's just, I really don't think that as removing our masks is going to make a massive difference. I think to me it was all about behaviour. That's the main purpose of the mask as far as I'm concerned. It was all about you feeling like you had some control over an uncontrollable situation, you feeling reassured to go out because you had this mask on your face, and people weren't going out at all because they were terrified, and this mask gave them some kind of security blanket, if you like, security of going out and doing their normal day-to-day shopping, everything else. And signalling, showing to other people that you're really taking part, because the whole thing was very much reliant on other people, sticking to the message and doing all the regulations. And a lot of it was brought into this whole teamwork and everything else. And you wearing your mask and everyone else wearing their mask fed into that whole system, because otherwise everything would have fallen apart. So to me, it was more about behaviour than actual science. That they actually really actually did something amazing and stopped transmission. I think about when we first had the press conferences at the beginning, both the chief medical officer and the scientific advisor, when asked about masks, were all very, we don't think they actually make much difference, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly it switched, because they realised actually from a behavioural aspect there were some real strong benefits to it. That's what I think. But, I'm not saying there isn't any benefit whatsoever, because I don't know. I haven't actually studied it, so I can't say for sure. All I'm going off was that infection control nurse before this whole thing saying that to me, the chief medical officer and the scientific advisor being very sceptical at the beginning of them, and just my knowledge of wearing one and feeling like it really didn't do much. I would walk past someone and be able to smell their strong perfume or their aftershave or their smoke if they were smoking. So I really don't think it did that much, but I'm not wearing mine. There was no point in vaccinating everybody if we're just going to carry on doing what we were doing. It has actually had massive benefit. The numbers of cases versus the number of hospitalizations and deaths have dramatically decreased compared to where they were. So I think vaccination has actually helped, and there is no doubt in my mind that coronavirus is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. It's a virus. It's here to stay. We just have to accept that that's the case. We can't do this zero COVID, which a lot of people seem to have suddenly drifted onto. It's just not going to happen. We're going to have to live with it like we do with the flu. Take as many precautions as we personally can. So if we're sick, we don't go out. We wash our hands. We get treatment, blah, blah, blah. We get our test. We get vaccinated. Those to me are the things that actually would do something, not whether or not I wear my cotton mask. To me, it's just signalling and behaviour modification. And when I say modification, I mean in terms of when you see someone with the mask, you naturally move back. And I think that's a lot of what it was actually about. Not that there was any great benefit to wearing one from a physical point of view, from a scientific point of view. It was more behavioural, but that's just my opinion. You're entitled to your own. And throughout this whole thing, it's just been one, I don't know, it's just so many businesses have gone under, so many businesses will if people don't get to grips with the fact that it's not going anywhere. You hear on the news all the time companies saying they can't get staff because they're all on furlough and they don't want to come back, or they've gone to another position within that time frame, that they can't open because they can't meet the capacity requirements in terms of it's not worth it to open when there's such a small amount that people that are allowed in, or they don't have the premises to be able to socially distance all these customers. And that really matters, because those people pay taxes and insurance, which goes into the healthcare system. And if they're not working, if they're not earning money, then the healthcare system is not getting that allocation of money that they should get from that. So it then affects overall health. And then there's all the people that haven't had operations, that have been too scared to go to appointments because of coronavirus. So, you know, there's all those people, it's all the non-COVID stuff that you got to think about. All those people that have had mental illness due to this, you know, the isolation, being locked up in their homes, feeling like they were locked up, that they had no one else to talk to. Kids, like babies, think about babies that were born during the pandemic, when they're out and about and they're seeing people wearing masks. And social expressions and interaction is really important. And I feel for all these babies that have just been stuck with all these people with face masks on the whole time, apart from, you know, their primary caregivers. Everyone else they've ever seen has probably had a face mask on, and, you know, no one's smiling at them. And it just has to stop at some point. You can't carry on in this endless loop of control. It has to stop at some point, because, you know, that was the whole point of the whole vaccination program, was to enable people to move on with their lives, not to be stuck in this endless cycle of fear. And a lot of it is because it's not that bad for everybody. Yes, a select few will get it really seriously, but most of those people have been vaccinated, or they should have been if they could be. And they'll no doubt if they couldn't be, they'll no doubt be naturally taking extra precautions anyway because of whatever condition that they have. So, you know, you can't lock everyone else up. Everyone should have the right to choose how they want to live their life. And if you want to wear a face mask, fine, go ahead. But if you don't want to, that should be fine too. You know, if you've been vaccinated and you're being careful, then it's just crazy. But I just hope that he doesn't U-turn and get scared of all these people, because I don't think that their decision process is stronger or has any more scientific ground than anyone else's. It's just they've not come up with any valid reasons, as far as I'm concerned, that face masks need to stay, that these little cotton face masks are our saviour. But that thing about Asia makes me laugh, because it originated in an Asian country where, from what I hear, apparently mask wearing is very strong. So it didn't really do much, did it? Because it turned into a pandemic. So really, do these little cotton masks really make that much of a difference? It's just, for me, as I said, it's behaviour and signalling. That's where I think it's actually really beneficial, not from a scientific point of view, or if it is, it's very slim. Not your medical masks, N95, all those things, they are good, but these little cotton cloth masks, no. I really don't buy it at all. But I did what I was supposed to. I wore my mask. I've followed all the regulations, done everything I was meant to do, and as far as I'm concerned, now it's time, now that everybody who needed to be has been vaccinated, it's time to move on with our lives and accept the fact that this virus is not going anywhere, and we just have to learn to live with it as much as we can do. But I do think hand washing is very, very beneficial, so I'll have no problems with supermarkets keeping hand washing stations open. I think that was a really, really good idea. But as for wearing my little cotton mask, no. I am happily going to chuck that away and resume looking at people and smiling at people, whether they choose to wear their mask or not. Okay, so I'm going to leave this prepping for 4th grade here, and I'll see you in our next one. I've still got quite a big to-do list, so I've still got to take out all the stuff from our work boxes, put that away in the storage box, although I do think I have made a good start. Language arts is in there, maths is in there, and history is in there already, so I'm getting there. Oh, and science is in there, so I am getting there. But then I've got to take out books that are still in the work boxes and put them in back into their home, which I actually forgot to show you. So when I did my bookshelf tour, I forgot about the books that are actually in our work boxes. And I also forgot to show you our little magazine rack, which has got books in too, like display size books. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Some more books in totes that need to go out.
onto the shelves, and then I want to really start working on my planner. So I want to get the first 2 weeks planned and in my planner, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. So I'm going to do a 2-week plan with me for the first 2 weeks of school. Okay, so I've taken off all the labels and I've emptied all of the drawers of everything that I don't think we will need to use this year, and then I'm going to start replenishing them with the new things. And I've also got to make new labels. I've also taken off all the labels off the big bookshelf to make new ones, and we have moved the schoolroom around just because of the fact with the puppies, so I can be more accessible to them when they need to go potty and stuff without interrupting school. So we have moved the schoolroom downstairs for the potty training period, and then we'll move it back upstairs after that. So that's what we did. Gigantic schoolroom move 3 days before Quinn was due to give birth. Hey everyone, so I thought I'd do a quick update, and this will be the end of this video. This video is going to be super long, but there are some really fun things in it, so I think it's worthwhile watching. But if I look awful, it's because I've been up for more than 24 hours. I've had 4 hours sleep in increments in that time. 1 hour the first night, 1 hour later on in the afternoon, and then 2 hours last night, so I'm very, very tired. But Quinn, our Cavalier, gave birth. It was an amazing experience, although it was heart-wrenching and very difficult at times. The first stage of labour was super long. It was 24 hours. From my research, and I did quite a lot of extensive research, nobody really says how long things last in terms of the first stage of labour. So I was shocked it lasted that long. We even phoned the vet because we were worried, but they said, you know, everything seemed fine, just wait. Her water, what we thought was her water broke, but it wasn't. It was just the fluids coming out. That was on the day before everything started. And then she had 24 hours of first stage labour, panting, restlessness. She started gathering all her toys up and treating them like puppies, which was super cute to see. I knew when she was doing that, collecting all the toys and treating them like puppies, that it was getting close. So then the early hours of this morning, the 14th, she had her 4 puppies. So she had 2 girls first and then 2 boys. Thought that after Lexi, so Ariel was born first, then Lexi, and we thought that was it because Quinn went really quiet. There was no signs of anything else, and we thought we were done, twins, it's great. And then little Mr. Noah came out, and we were shocked because, as I said, she'd been fine up until that point. He suddenly popped out, and he was so precious. He looks exactly like his dad. He's got the kissing spot on his head. If you ever heard of Blenheim Cavaliers, they have a kissing spot sometimes, not always, on the top of their head, a little brown spot, and he's got that. And then we thought we were done then. 3, great. And then we thought we were done then. 3 was fabulous. And then out of nowhere, Mr. Luca popped out, and he got stuck. He was breech and he got stuck. His amniotic sac burst, and then he was completely stuck. I used petroleum jelly and managed to wriggle him out, but it was very scary. He wasn't breathing when he came out. Got his heartbeat, did CPR, got his heart going. He was gasping for breath. Did the nasal aspirator, aspirated his throat, everything, and it took ages for him to stop breathing normally. Then about half an hour after that, all he did was cry, and we were thinking, oh, there's something really wrong, and we were worried. We thought maybe he was not going to make it. But then he had I got him onto, warmed him with his mum and also a hot water bottle, got him onto the teat to have some milk, and he was still crying, so we thought maybe he needed the bathroom. So I tried to get Quinn to clean them, but she was absolutely exhausted at this point, so I got some cotton wool and tried to clean the area in case he needed to go to the bathroom. That didn't work. His back, in case he had air in his stomach, from all the CPR and everything else. And then eventually I gave him some syringe of milk as well, just in case he was hungry and her colostrum wasn't doing it for him. And then finally he seemed to settle, and then the next morning he's been absolutely fine. So I'm hoping that that's good. He's actually the second heaviest, so he's not actually the runt at all, because often they say the last one is the runt. He's not at all. He's the second heaviest. Noah's was the first heaviest, then it was Luca, then it was Ariel, and actually Lexi was the smallest. And she is very much like her mother, identical. She's so cute, and she
is a food fiend, which Quinn is too. If you have anything to eat, Quinn wants it, and she'll sit down, give you the eyes, and she'll tap you on your leg and to remind you that she's there and that she wants some of your food. And Lexi already is the same. I can tell already. And Ariel is just so princess-like. She's adorable. And Luca is doing so well. So that's our 4 new babies. If you are thinking of having puppies, I'd say it was an amazing experience. My daughter loved it. It was very educational. We didn't plan to breed or anything like that, but and we will definitely be getting everyone neutered, so this will be the one and only time. But it was an amazing experience. The best thing was seeing kicks. It was just like seeing human baby kicks. It was amazing. And I know who the squirmer was now, because we had one that was always squirmy, and that was definitely Lexi. She's like that in person, much more squirmy than the others. All of them are quite chilled like Jace, whereas Lexi is quite squirmy, which is more like Quinn's personality. So that's why I said she's a mini Quinn. But yes, so there we go, and I'll include a couple of pictures of them, and yeah, I'll see you in our next video. So we now have 4 new puppies. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Back now.